Good morning, everyone, and happy 8th day, final day of Chanukah, Zos Chanukah, when the entire menorah is lit up. You know, on Pesach, we celebrate the victory over the Egyptians, and the way we do it is we sit down on the night of Seder and we tell the story, the whole story of the victory of the Jews over the Egyptians. But on Chanukah, there's no Haggadah, there's no family get-together where we tell the story of the Maccabees in great detail as we do on the night of Passover. But rather, what do? We light candles every night. Now, there were two miracles that happened on Chanukah. The first miracle was that a small group of Maccabees won the mighty Syrian Greek armies. Second miracle is that after they came back into the temple, they lit the oil and it burned miraculously for 8 days. But the way we celebrate Chanukah each and every night is only by commemorating the second miracle of the oil burning 8 days. We seem to overlook, or not at least commemorate in any ritualistic way, what is seemingly the more important miracle, which is the victory. The victory was life and death for the Jews, the continuity of Judaism. It would not have been Judaism had not the Maccabees fought and won against the Syrian Hellenistic Greeks. Yet there's no real celebration of that miracle. The focus is entirely on a little oil burning for 8 days. Why has that become the focal point of this holiday? And the answer is perhaps that the victory of the Maccabees was overturned 2 centuries later, when of course the Romans came and destroyed the Holy Temple, and the Jews were cast into exile. In other words, the physical might and victory of the Maccabees wasn't everlasting, it wasn't permanent, it wasn't enduring, because we know that unfortunately we were sent back into exile. But what has been enduring throughout all of the ages and throughout all of the centuries of Jewish life? The flame of the menorah, meaning Judaism. That even if we were cast back into exile, we were sent back into dispersion, we were able to keep the flame of the menorah, which signifies the light of Torah, burning bright. That's something that can never be extinguished. Our bodies could be sent into exile, but our souls can never be sent into exile. Our enemies could oppress us, but our flame, our light, can never be extinguished. And that's what we celebrate. What we celebrate is that no matter where we find ourselves, even in the darkest times, we always have kept the flame of Judaism burning bright. And the Jews are going through some difficult times now, make no mistake about it. We're facing unprecedented anti-Semitism. But as we leave this holiday of Chanukah, we know that whatever we face, we will always do it with the light of Torah, and that will prevail over darkness. As a matter of fact, if you saw what happened in Monsey yesterday, after the stabbing on Saturday night, there was a Torah procession that took place in Monsey, and it went by the synagogue where the stabbing took place, and the rabbi of the synagogue came out to dance with the Torah. And it was our response to evil, that we will continue to chase away darkness, not only with might. Yes, we'll use security and might to prevail over this evil, but the way you chase away darkness is with light, because light qualitatively is greater than darkness. And therefore the darkness may seem great, but a little light dispels a great deal of darkness. It's a story told during the Holocaust. The Nazis, Yimach Shemam, would love to torment and humiliate the Jews. So at night they would come back in from the work and they would give them a little stale bread and some watery soup and a little smear of butter on top of their bread. And when the tub of butter was all depleted, the Nazis, Yimach Shemam, cursed be their memory, would say to the Jews, anyone who wants can jump into the tub and lick the barrel to get a little more margarine, a little more butter. And there were some Jews now who were so starved and so emaciated, they would jump in and just lick the walls of the tub, and the Nazis would laugh at these Jews. But there was one Jew whose name was Eliyahu. He was a very dignified Jew. He would never succumb to that. He would always keep his royal bearings, and all of the other inmates looked up to him because he was a man that was unbreakable. But one night when the Nazis said, we finished the tub, anyone who wants can go lick the walls, he jumped in and like a wild animal, he started running around the barrel, like licking the walls, pressing himself against every corner and crevice of the barrel. And all the other Jews said, Nebuch, he lost his mind, he snapped, he cracked. Even he cracked. If he cracked, all of us are doomed. After he got climbed out of the tub, they went back to their barracks that night. They see him sitting on his little hard plank of barrack, and he's pulling threads out of his uniform, his Holocaust prisoner uniform. And they say, Leo, what are you doing? He says, don't you know? Tonight's the first night of Chanukah. I jumped into the tub to get as much oil from the margarine onto my garments and now I'm going to make wicks for my garments for the light of the menorah. And that is what the Jewish people have done. No matter what hell, what dark place we found ourselves in, we have kept the flames of the Torah and Yiddishkeit and mitzvahs burning bright for thousands of years. And that's what we take with us on the 8th day of Chanukah, that we're going to face darkness. We've faced great darkness. No nation has faced as much darkness as us. But we've always dispelled the darkness with the light of the menorah, the light of Torah, and the light of Judaism.